We're back. Hello, Yar.
Hello, Ian. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you, thank you. How's life in Barcelona?
Oh, nice, nice. It's getting sunny. The weather is getting better. Can't wait for winter to finish. Getting get back to summer and the good vibes.
Well, I mean, you shouldn't complain, man. It's icy cold here in Amsterdam today, but it's a beautiful day
Oh,
with some
I don't know
sun
how
as
you guys do
well.
it. I have
I
no
don't.
idea.
Well, we're born in it, so we should get used to it. But it's actually a beautiful day. It's very cold, but it's also sunny, and it's a good day to be productive. So we are back with our 20 minutes. I know that you try to implement AI in your Webflow workflows when developing websites. I saw that you were tinkering around with some tools, and you mentioned Cursor a couple of times already. So, what's so special about Cursor, and how do you implement it in your workflow?
Yeah. So recently, I came across Cursor. Cursor AI is a tool. It's a code editor tool. It's similar to Visual Code Studio. So I recently came across Cursor and I was blown away because it's a very good code editor that has AI embedded in it. And you have different models that you can use from Claude to ChatGPT to DeepSeek even. And that powers your code. It's great because it's a code editor. So that means it can read all your code files, all your packages, everything that is there on your app, let's say, or your coding environment. And thanks to something like a live server, you can connect that easily to Webflow and have a very, very quick workflow where you can create animations, you can create GSAP animations, very complex stuff that requires code, but directly with AI. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, because what is the the main advantage of having AI involved in this process? It just speeds it up, or is it also something where you can do more complex things?
Exactly. Yeah. So we know Webflow has its limitations and some features, and the option is always to embed or code something natively or from scratch. Before the workflow was to code something, put it in a code embed, add it on the project, and then publish and then see how it works.
Hmm.
Um, After AI came a few years back, people started using AI to make, let's say, one of the most common things I think is GSAP animations, because GSAP animations, even though they're used heavily, they do require a little bit of code. It's a JavaScript library, so it does require code. So even though it's a very nice library and everyone wants to use it, however, there is a learning curve. There is some obstacles that might come because of the code. And so things like Cursor makes it possible for anyone to do it. Just like how Flow came to make it possible for anyone to make a website, now it's possible for anyone to sit and make complex animations, add complex, advanced, let's say, advanced JavaScript libraries that make nice things on your website. And without having to code, you use AI directly in your project. It adapts to it.
Nice. So, would this also enable us at Noco to, to turn around quicker when it comes to more complex animations? For example, in the hero section, as we often see. Um, what is sort of the direct impact of this development of implementing Cursor into our workflow?
I think I lost you for a minute.
Yeah, the connection is a little bit shaky, but
Yeah,
that's okay. We'll see how it comes out in the other end. Let's just move on.
let's see. Yeah, so I'd love to show you around and see, perhaps not to get too technical, but I would love to show you around, see how we can
Oh, please,
connect
no, never get too
um,
technical with me.
Cursor
You'll
AI
lose
to a
me right
Webflow
away.
project and then test out how we can make cool animations.
Yeah, man, show me something. What do you got?
Yeah, you're gonna enjoy this. All right, so I'm gonna share a screen and show you what I have. So this is an example project that I've been working on, and the idea here is I want to make some animations where this image comes in, and maybe some animations with the nav and all that. So again, before the process was to go, let's say, to ChatGPT, you're gonna have to ask it for an animation, then you come and embed the animation here, something like that. So you embed the animation here, and then you save, and then you publish, and that's how you see the animation. But now, thanks to Cursor AI, So we have Cursor AI. It's a desktop tool, so you can download it on your Mac. And then you have, let's say you have an empty project. So I have this empty project Noco that I set up for this video. So I'm just going to start by initiating a package for me to work with. So I just go npm init in my terminal, and then I initiate the default package. I can accept all these rules. So I have this package file here now. And this package file is reading from an index.js. And that's basically the JavaScript that I'll be using for working on GSAP. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create index.js. And here's basically where I'm going to write my GSAP code. Now, I know that bit was a bit technical, but now it's the easier part. All we have to do now is to connect Cursor to our Webflow project, and that's done by going live on a live server. There is an extension, and again, this is very similar to Visual Code Studio if you're familiar with it. There is an extension called Live Server. So if you go to Live Server and you go to the first one, you can see this is the downloaded 59 million times. So this is the one. I already have it installed, so I don't need to install it again. And then all I have to do is just click Go Live. And you can see it takes live, so it took me on another browser, but I'll bring it here. Okay, so I'll bring this directory here, and you can see this is the directory that I'll be using. So we'll go to index.js. We're just going to copy this and then paste it on our Webflow project. Now, once this a little bit, it's always the setup part that takes a bit of time, takes a bit of work to put in. But after that, you can easily just use the AI to make the calls. So first, we're going to write script. It's going to be a type module. And then the source will be the link or the server that we're going to be using. So we just need to add an equal sign here. And then we're going to close our script. And that's basically it. So now we have Cursor AI connected to our Webflow project through our live server. So this is happening only on our device. And this is great for development purposes because you have a very quick workflow now. So I save, I publish, and once this is published, I can go live. I can go back to my Cursor file. Let's say I'm going to view this in the live domain. So I'm going to go back to my Cursor file, and now I can go to the composer. So it's called the composer. You have a chat and you have a composer. I like using the composer more. It's way faster. It applies the code directly on your project. So let's say here now I have the composer. I want to create an animation where, let's see, we just need to get the right class files. So we just need to know our project. What is it that we want to animate? So I want to animate hero square. So I'll just
Do you
go back.
include that in the prompt?
Yeah, exactly. So basically, I'll tell it what I want to animate. So in my project, in the navigator, usually I have these classes named. So let's say hero square wrapper, hero square. I have something set up. So I want to animate hero square, which is this picture basically. And I can copy the name from here and then go back to Composer. I'll paste it. Perhaps I write a dot. So this is just something I use because dot is the way to specify a class. And I like to put them in small letters with a hyphen if there is a space. Because basically in the back end, this is how it's written, even though it's written here with a capital letter. In the back end, it's always with small letters and a hyphen because that's how the browser reads it. So we go to prompt. I want to create an animation where hero square scales from 0 view width and 0 view height to 100 view width and 100 view height with a nice smooth ease, let's say. And then I click enter. And I'm using, as you can see here, you can choose the model that you're going to use. So I have some models that I frequently use, like Cloud 3.5, which I think is great,
Yeah,
and
is that
O3
the best
Mini.
one for applications like this, in your opinion?
Um, Cloud was, but now O3 Mini actually is pretty impressive. Is doing really good.
Nice.
But before that, I always use Cloud. DeepSeek, I tried it a few times, but didn't really go much with it. But yeah, O3 Mini. The O1 model here is like pay per use because it's the most powerful model. Uh, but other than that, all these you can use. If you have the pre-plan free plan, sorry, you get a limitation on how many calls you can use. But
Hmm.
otherwise, you can get the subscription for 20. I think it's 20, around the same price as ChatGPT, let's say. But you get all these models and you get the code editor and all that. So
Cool.
let's go back to our code. So you see, it wrote a code for me in JavaScript, and yeah, it's taken here a square from 0 view width, 0 view height to 100 view width. So I'm gonna just click accept all, and then I go back to my project. I can refresh. So I refresh. Let's make sure everything is connected. Type module source. Yeah, maybe I should have specified that this is a GSAP animation. So I can go back again. This is something I can do as well. Sometimes we make mistakes. So you can always revert back to before the prompt. So I can revert back to before writing this prompt,
Hmm.
and I can click continue. See, it deletes the code, it edits it. And maybe I will just specify I want to create a GSAP animation, because this is the library we want to use. And now it's created in GSAP, generating. Yeah, so again, this is something that, I mean, I used to do this a lot, but directly with ChatGPT. And then it's about copying and pasting. So I would get this code, I would copy it, paste it here in my code
Yep.
editor, and then
Yep.
work with it. But now something like this, I can just accept the file, go back to my project,
So
and I
it's
can
basically
see
AI works like a plugin or sort of an extension that you can work with directly in Webflow, and it
exactly,
makes things more seamless. You don't have to switch
exactly,
tabs. You don't have to copy paste much. Nice.
exactly. So let's say now, so that I have um, this animation, I just want to continue. I want to animate in the, let's say, the text, which is home hero. So I want to animate in the home hero. Again, I will write it in dot home hero to fade in after the hero square. So now it continues. It creates an animation on top of what I created. And it makes sure that there's no conflicts, because again, it reads the code file. So you see it has this as a reference. So my code file
Nice.
entirely.
Yep.
So I mean, now we're doing something very simple. We're doing just a few animations, but this can get really complex. And once it gets really complex, sometimes it's hard for a non-developer to go through. Okay, where's this going? But something like this can really makes it easy. And again, you just refresh, and you see it animates in. So now
Yeah.
I refresh, I get the text, and I can continue further. I go like, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that, and it's just with a chat. Um, this is not also limited to GSAP. There's more libraries out there, Swiper.js, a lot of other libraries out there that you can easily, iterate with instead of having to publish and go back and go forth. You just connect the script, you connect the server as such, and then you can just iterate on your project.
Cool. That's nice.
What do you
And
think?
yeah, it's great, man. I mean, I can see this is of course quite a simple example, but I can see where this can take you as a developer. You can just do more complex things in a very short amount of time, and
Yeah.
basically the possibilities are endless. And the follow up question that I then have is, when you look at Cursor AI, outside of the animation part, what are the tasks that you use it for besides animation, or what do you envision for the future? Where would something like Cursor AI come in handy when developing in Webflow?
Uh, I mean, the Cursor AI has become very famous very quickly. It's very, very similar to Visual Code Studio. Now, Visual Code Studio is the most common code editor used in the world. Um, and the way Cursor did it, it's that it came out, it's very similar. It's even this very similar UI, but you have this very powerful modules and in a way that they can read your files much more. I think it's much more powerful than, let's say, GitHub Copilot or these other tools out there. What I personally been doing with Cursor, I mean, I've been creating apps, like I've been creating Chrome extensions. I've been creating, it helped me a lot with Webflow apps, which I've been
Yes.
doing. Um, and also, again, this is something that is very powerful because now you can create some sort of like a customized apps or customized extension for your specific workflow. You don't have to go look and buy them, or maybe you can't find something that maybe you can find a tool that has the feature you want but has a lot of features you don't want, or something like that. But here, I think the future would be people doing their own tools, people doing their own little mini tools that helps them with their major workflow, something like this.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
speaking of mini tools, you actually built a mini tool in the form of a
Yes.
Webflow app using Cursor. So can you
Yes.
tell me something about that?
Yeah, so I released Clean Styles. Clean Styles is a Webflow app. I think it's getting featured now on the marketplace because it's a new
Nice,
app. So Clean Styles basically helps detect duplicate classes. So if I have a class that is duplicate, I can just run it, perhaps just to preview it. So you see, I have some classes that are duplicated, and I can select them both and I can merge them into one class. This helps, of course, organize my backend file and make sure that I don't have duplicates that I don't want. Um, I've been working on this app for quite a while. Uh, a few months back, I've been working on it with TypeScript. It was very difficult. It took me a long time. I tried to get some help, but did took me a long time because of the features, because of the limitations as well of the Webflow API.
hmm
However, when Cursor came in and I started browsing different possibilities with Cursor, it made it all possible, and it came to life.
nice.
Of course, I did have some, I did reach out to a lot of people. I did try a lot of resources to get this right. However, Cursor helped majorly. And I think it's something that is going to very, very much advance in the future and going to help a lot of developers do a lot of nice things.
Yeah, very nice, man. And of course, we talked about some other things as well with regards to Noco. So we're also
Yeah,
cooking up something in the background.
yeah, of
We're
course.
working on a suite of nice little apps that solve basically some pain points or some needs that we see that are common with the customers we serve, B2B SaaS startups mainly. And so we try to tailor to them with a little suite of Noco Webflow apps, which is super exciting. Probably more about that in the near future. But yeah, we will also extensively use Cursor AI for that, of course. Um, so very nice. Thank you, Cursor, and thank you, Yar.
Yeah, most
Um,
welcome.
yeah,
Most
man.
welcome. Yeah.
Thanks for showing me this. Last but not least, to get back to the GSAP animations because there are some spectacular animations out there.
Yes.
What is your favorite animation, or are there some cool showcase websites with like the coolest GSAP animations that you can find?
I mean, I have a huge list of cool websites. I usually go on awards.com, browse different websites. I probably maybe 90% of the websites on awards.com use GSAP.
Yep.
Um, GSAP and Linus scrolling as well. It's something that is getting very, very common. So these two libraries, you see them commonly used. Of course, the creativity is limitless. People are doing amazing stuff. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
going to show you just one website here, Cosmos. It's a very, very cool website. As well, you see the animations, the flow of it, how everything moves around. This is
That's what we
called
like.
GSAP. Yeah, this is GSAP Flip. It's called GSAP Flip, where you can move an element from one place to another.
Yeah, that looks
This
very
is also
smooth.
GSAP. Yeah, so it's like the possibilities are limitless. I would love to have something created like that now with the with cursor with things like this. We can definitely create it. It's just about
Let's do it,
coming up
man.
with those awesome ideas. You know, and like we're gonna
Let's
talk
do
to
it. And
we're
I
gonna
was
talk to
talking
Yale.
to Yella as well for. Oh, sorry, there was a little bit of delay on the line, but no, I was talking to Yella as well about doing more fictional projects, and of course, implementing more of this stuff with our customer websites. And we're actually cooking something else. We want to sort of have a standalone website which showcases just really cool banger design stuff, banger design and development stuff. So we've
Yeah,
been brainstorming about that the other day,
nice.
since the other day. So yeah, definitely a good place to showcase some of this magic as well. I think we hit the 20-minute mark, Yar. So we're gonna close this. But thanks for showing this,
Most welcome.
and I'm already curious about what we will talk about next time.
Gonna
So
be gonna be cooler and cooler stuff.
yeah, man, anything you want to add, or was that it?
Well, no, thank you for the 20 minutes. I really hope to see more development, more stuff that comes out in the AI scene, and see how that helps us in the workflow. I'm
Yeah,
very
man.
excited to be exploring more and more. So we'll be talking about more stuff that
What a time
gets
to be
into
alive.
workflow. Yeah, what a time to be alive.
All right, man. See you next time, Yar. Thank you.
Thank you, Ian.